We are live. I'm here with Dustin Caravaglia.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. We have been friends for many, many years. You were living a nomadic lifestyle, and we had reconnected back in probably 2015.
15, yeah. Right when I got out of the Army.
Yeah, so you had been in the Army, you got out of the Army, moved to Colorado. From there, you started living out of your car, kind of dirt bagging across the Southwest, and we had linked up for a little bit, and then you moved on to Italy a couple times. Came back.
Yeah, I was there for 3 years and just kind of had to go back and do some things back and forth.
And now you're living in South Africa.
Correct. Cape Town.
You're in Cape Town. And what has life been like living in South Africa during the quarantine?
So I moved to Cape Town. I moved specifically to Cape Town, South Africa for my girlfriend. So we had met here. I came here kind of almost for just a vacation. I had left Italy and thought I was going to go back to the United States and start working. And then I came here and I ended up here for 3 months and met my girlfriend. And then my visa ended and I had to decide, like, I'm going to stay with her and I'm going to go back to the States. And I ended up back in the States. And then after 2 months, I was like, nope, I'm going back to South Africa. And
so how long did you get back to South Africa?
I arrived in South Africa like a few days before Christmas.
Okay.
This past Christmas, this most previous one.
And when did you guys end up on lockdown?
I think we went on lockdown. Like, we've been on lockdown for like 2 months, maybe 3 months. We were on lockdown, I think, around when maybe like the West Coast started calling it, maybe like California. I know California was one of the earlier states, and Washington. We got on lockdown, but we weren't. It was before, like, maybe early March. I want to say early March, because when Italy started, when the cases started spreading in Europe, I remember still seeing European tourists all out over Cape Town. I was like, oh, we're screwed. That thing's coming here now. And I knew that I was going to be on. I knew it was going to go through the whole world. I had no clue. I had no doubt that it was going to do that.
And so right now where we are at, every businesses are trying to reopen. Mm-hmm. Pennsylvania is going to reopen as of May 9th, they are saying.
Yeah.
But it's different where you are at, correct?
Yeah, and so South Africa as a whole country is so vastly different. Cape Town is extremely different from Durban, and it's extremely different from Johannesburg. There's a whole different cultures of people that live there. The politics, I couldn't even tell you what other cities are doing. Cape Town has, this Friday, I've heard that they're going to get some relaxed restrictions.
So in terms of relaxed restrictions, what are you currently dealing with? Because right now, it's no problem for me to go to the store or go to a park, but we're wearing masks and going down individual aisles. You're dealing with kind of a different set of circumstances, correct?
Yeah. So here, they're okay. So it's gone authoritarian here, full authoritarian, where you need to. My girlfriend's her grandmother had passed away. I don't think it was because of COVID. Maybe, I don't know, but she needed to get a like a like some type of something from the police. So technically, you're supposed to have something from the police to go anywhere. You could go to the grocery store. Everything's closed. All restaurants are closed. They're not doing the delivery stuff like they're doing in America. Nobody's doing that. Everybody's closed. There's nothing open here. And you also don't have like Amazon coming like you do in America. You don't have that. So yeah, there's nothing open. I walk around. I got stopped by the police for walking around by myself, and like nobody even around. And they were actually pretty cool about it. They were like, "Where are you going?" I was like, I just need to get out of the house. And the guy kind of laughed, and I just kept walking. But I would keep walking every day anyway. Not very many people do. I feel like I'm in a post-apocalyptic movie, and also because I'm in. So I'm in right now. I'm in like one of the richest neighborhoods, maybe in all of Africa, and it's also like the most beautiful. I think it's the most beautiful place I've ever seen, and I can't. Shit, dog.
Yeah, gotta give him a rap.
I think there's nobody here. All the European, like most of the people that have homes here and stuff, they're from Europe. They're rich English, rich German, and they're all here. But no, they're stuck in their home countries. So it's just kind of like desolate. And yeah, sometimes I just walk around by myself. It's just weird. And I'm right on the ocean. There's like the mountains behind me and the ocean right there. So I just have everything to myself, really.
And if people go to our Instagram feed, can see some photos you sent us from South Africa with the
Yeah,
sticker. So
with your bottle with the space head guy.
yeah,
Yeah, that was Betty's Bay.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, that
thank
was
you for
Betty's
that.
Bay.
So what have outside of walking, what have you been doing with your time?
I do. I really. My life was like kind of really hectic the past year because I finished my master's degree, and then I had got I finished my thesis and I got published, and then I was
What?
going to go work. Say again.
What were you getting your master's for?
Archaeology management, and then when I got that finished, I had I had started doing a lot of stuff with geospatial software, and a lot of like the easiest way to picture that would be Google Earth and anything of that realm. And I was doing that, and I was linking that with Amazon Web Services cloud computing, so I could, manipulate images on the cloud, which is something that hasn't been. This is very new in real time, because usually it's before it would take days if you needed to get a satellite image processed. And so I was hoping to create that niche, and then when I had gotten offered a job, I was back in South Africa, and I didn't know. I was with my girlfriend. I didn't know if I want to go back. I didn't know if I
Got
want to bring
offered a
her with
job
me.
in the U.S.
Yeah, back in Colorado.
with Amazon.
Maxar.
Okay.
They're like a satellite company, aerospace and defense company. And then this all happened, and I was like, guess that one goodbye. So I started really just. I had been fiddled around with stocks, and I just since they put us on lockdown, that's all I would do. Every single minute of my day, I just read the markets and I read stock charts and read books about it. And I've recently kind of just acquired a skill from being on Twitter so much on how to swing trade. And that's using volume and momentum to follow the big fish, the whales like Merrill Lynch, their hedge funds. Whenever they buy something, that little blip just kind of like registers, and I follow that. I follow the smart money, and then I take those trades and ride them for 2-3 days, and try to get as much as I squeeze as much as I can out of that, and then I sell it. I don't hold it for longer than a few days, and I've actually got kind of good at it. And I never would have done it if it wasn't for this quarantine, to be honest, because I was like, I need to make money here, and I need to do it. I can't go. There's no job interviews. I can't work for an American company. I can't work for a South African company because I'm not a resident here. I don't have a work visa. So I was like, I have to. This is the way I got to make money, and it's worked. I'm hopefully I'll get better and be able to. Currently, I'm doing fine. I'm actually surprised, but I might even keep doing it. I kind of like it, to be honest. And I don't have to go into work, and I can live wherever I want. So why don't I just keep doing it?
Yeah, a lot of people right now are dipping their toes in that water.
Yeah, and it's not smart to do.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, I don't want to say anybody can't do it, but it's dangerous. It's a really I was trading for 10 years prior to doing this type of trade, but a different type of trading, passive. But if there's a will, there's a way. But if you're just like sitting back drinking beers and plucking stocks out of the thing, you're gonna lose your shirt. People like, for instance, oil. You can't talk someone out of buying oil right now. They don't think it could go any lower. It went down, I think, another 20% today. It's back to negative. They are, if you're pumping oil, you have to pay to pump the oil once that oil is off your hands. You have to pay somebody to take it. Can you believe that? That's what's going on in the oil markets.
it's crazy. Yeah, I definitely have no advice for anyone there, and I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to that. I would fall under a passive trader, and it's got to be ready to.
I wouldn't give anybody financial advice either.
Yeah. Well, so sounds like through this, you're finding the opportunity in the unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, I'm actually profiting. I'm doing better now.
Well, that's good.
During the quarantine, I have, I don't own anything. The only thing I own right now is the dollar. That's all I have. I don't have a car. I don't have a TV. I don't have anything. I don't have any. I don't own or owe anybody anything. All I have is cash, and cash is the most valuable thing right now because the dollar is so strong.
In that backpack.
In my backpack. In my freaking backpack. That's like that's the most valuable thing I own. That in my computer. That's it.
Nice.
I've been wearing this shirt for 10 years. 12 years I've been wearing this shirt. I swear to God.
I believe I've seen you in it.
All my Facebook pictures, somebody like, you got a new shirt.
Okay, so before we bring this to a close, is there anything you would like to ask the people who are watching?
Okay, yeah. I'm looking at Netflix. What is the worst, absolute worst movie on Netflix that you've seen?
That is a good question. And I said that's a good question. And just to throw something in, I watched something on Hulu the other day. It's called Pilgrim, I think, like a Thanksgiving themed horror movie. absolutely worth watching. It's terrible, but it's supposed to be.
See, I like stupid shows. I like stupid shows. So I watched the dating one. They're dating and they can't like touch each. They can't like hook up like the normal ones. And
Yeah,
I gotta kick out of that one. That's pretty good. So I like those ones.
nice. So, what do you want to leave the people with before we get off here?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a time to like sit around and be idle. I think it's a time to. I think when if you're on unemployment or anything like that, God forbid, when that's over, there might not be something there to come back to. So you might want to start planning now.
Definitely agree. Um, it's great talking to you. Keep holding it down in South Africa.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll get to visit.
Yeah, I hope so too. We'll take it surfing again.
Yeah, definitely down. All right.
Hey, man.